What's going on, guys? Your boy Eric of EMFC.
This is Derek of DMFC, and this is Matt's face.
And that's Matt, just quietly there, but he's listening. But he's not talking, But this is Wrestle Chat Wednesday. We are all here once again to chat all things wrestling this week. Friday Night SmackDown. It kicked off with a bang. This whole storyline with the Bloodline. Oh, I guess maybe we should play the weekly recap. Oops. Don't mind me. I'm just gonna put it up. Did not set everything up. I usually set it up beforehand, but here we are. Friday Night SmackDown started off with a bang because of the Bloodline storyline. As always, has been pretty much taking over WWE. All because of the return of Roman, I guess. It brought back the old Bloodline, the new Bloodline. A lot of huge shocks and surprises, but the night did start off with Randy Orton.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he came out, he showed up. He confronted Triple H beforehand, which I thought was a pretty cool little segment.
Mm-hmm.
And then he proceeded to go outside and call out Triple H for some reason. Triple H is like, okay, I'm your boss, why are you talking to me like this? But I think they are having the match or they're not having the match. I don't remember the result of that.
Yeah, they are having the match. The match is set for Crown Jewel.
Oh my god. Which I think they announced so many matches is the first time Triple H has a 7-match card.
Yeah, it's Saudi Arabia. You gotta go hard for that, right? So
Sorry, my door wasn't fully closed. Yeah, so they had that little spat. They had a little in between with LA Knight and Carmelo Hayes and Andrade, which I didn't like personally because they are having a game 7. It was kind of like Cesaro and Sheamus, where they had their little rivalry and then they put it to the end and then whatever, they continued on with their lives, right?
Yep.
It didn't end that way because LA Knight was a special guest referee. He interfered. He said, "I'm the winner. I'm leaving," which made no sense in general. And now it's going to be a triple threat at Crown Jewel. So that's, once again, another match added.
Yeah.
And then, again, the Bloodline took over with the Motor City Machine Guns for the rest of the night. Besides the whole Cody Rhodes segment with Gunther. They just talked back and forth. Got jumped. Randy helped. That was it. So the Motor City Machine Guns fought DIY. They won. It was pretty fun. The tag team match was really cool. You can tell that they're a really good tag team, and I feel like it elevated DIY. They actually competed pretty well, which led to the Bloodline coming out, or the new Bloodline coming out, and they're like, we can defend the titles right now. Surprise, surprise, they defended the titles last night. Friday Night SmackDown, the same night. The old Bloodline comes out, helps out. Jay helps out his family, even though he's still kind of angry with them. Motor City Machine Guns win the tag team championships. Derek, what are your thoughts on everything that transpired on SmackDown? It was just a shocker all around.
So the whole episode was pretty chaotic. I liked the Randy Orton and Triple H segment because I liked how they haven't really been making the gorilla position a position of obscurity like they did during the Vince era, where it's Vince is always there, but they never show that he's there because he's never supposed to be there, kind of thing, right? Where it's now it's we know Triple H is there from week to week, right? So kind of having that where Randy just went straight to him and said yo, I need to talk to you, whatever. And Triple H is nah, not go out there, do your thing. And then him calling him out to the ring, I thought was really cool. I liked how Triple H kind of just put on the boss hat and kind of was just kind of yo, I can't afford to lose you again. You were just on the shelf for a year and a half. But it's the way that they've built up Kevin Owens at this point, which I really like, because it's they're kind of treating his heel turn this time around to be a lot more different in regards to how his attitude is where it's he's always fighting for something. He's fighting for a prize. He's fighting for, kind of to kind of put himself in a position which would be better for him for business. But now he's just at a point where he just doesn't care and he's just lashing out at everybody. So I feel we're going to get a more aggressive Kevin Owens, maybe very similar to how he was in Ring of Honor. And if you haven't seen him in Ring of Honor, Yeah. You're in for a treat for Crown Jewel. I feel like this is probably gonna be the best heel version of Kevin Owens that we're going to get at this point.
Yeah,
Um,
they gassed them up a lot during
they gassed him up a
SmackDown. I
lot, so
was like, I don't remember if
expect
this
it.
is Kevin Owens, but okay.
Yeah, so expect like a power apron power bomb. Expect like 5 of them. I feel like at this point because I feel
Really?
like I think Kevin Owens is gonna go out there and just kill Randy Orton and just write him off of TV for like the foreseeable future. That's what I'm predicting.
Mm.
But yeah, we'll see. But I love how they're kind of like treating this as like a different version of a heel Kevin Owens because we've seen Kevin like turn heel multiple times, and it's kind of been around the same thing where it's just like, oh yeah, he turns on his friends because like he wants to get in a better position, and now it's just kind of like, nah, he's just fed up. So
He said this is the
we
first
don't know what he's
time.
thinking.
This is the first time his friends turned on him. I believe is what Triple H said, which is a cool little
Um,
twist of fate. Which I guess in a way is true. Which also leads us to Monday Night Raw, which I'll switch
mhm.
over, because
Hold on,
another fellow
hold on. I
Canadian.
have more.
Oh,
I have
sorry,
more
sorry, sorry,
thoughts. I
sorry.
have more thoughts. I have more thoughts. That was just for Kevin Owens.
Okay.
Motor City Machine Guns winning the tag team titles. Um, I understand that it was to advance the Bloodline storyline. I understand that that was more so what it is. I like the Motor City Machine Guns. I've been watching those guys since I was like 10 years old.
It's a long time.
They've been doing it for a very long time, so they're not new to the tag team game. They're new to WWE. The
Mm.
WWE fans who aren't familiar with the work prior to, definitely got a look as to like how explosive and how great of a tag team they are. And
Very
honestly, after
talented.
20 years, they're still really, really, really good, which
Mm.
is like incredible. But putting the tag team titles on them this soon, bold move,
Mm.
very crazy. They could do it. It's just a matter of whether or not like the crowd will be behind them for it.
They're
So
chanting
we'll see.
during the
They
arena.
were. They were. And like honestly, like the good thing about it is that they were in the right arena.
Mm.
Brooklyn is a smart crowd. Brooklyn knows wrestling. So they know the Motor City Machine Guns because they're not just like WWE fans, they're wrestling. They know about TNA, they know about like WWE history. By like, crowds like Brooklyn, crowds like Chicago, crowds like
Chicago.
Florida, where NXT or the NXT TNA was like huge in, or where they station in, like those are crowds that I expect that they'll get like those huge reactions. But it's the other crowds where, again, like, you don't really see anything more than just WWE is where I'm like, all right, like let's see people are going to be like going on with what these guys put out kind of thing. But only time will tell
Well, they
in
impressed the hell
regards
out
to
of
that.
me because
Oh
they're
yeah,
like
they're
I didn't see them ever before, but like they were
mhm,
talented as heck. It looked like they were in unison, like they were like twins. They knew what they were doing. It was very fun. Um, and yeah, they were good on the mic. They also teased a lot about TNA and Impact.
mhm.
Solo did that a lot when they were having a little promo off in the middle. He's like, I know you guys want to leave an impact on SmackDown, and he's like, got him. It was pretty good. And they mentioned TNA
Mhm.
a lot as well. They mentioned all the tag
Mhm.
team titles they won around the world and how I guess grateful they were to be here because this is like the prize they always wanted, and they did it in 2 weeks, ladies and gentlemen. Probably when Triple H signed them from AEW, and I told you this, Derek, as well. They're probably like, yeah, don't go to AEW. I'll give you the tag titles in a month,
Yeah.
and there we are. 2 weeks later, getting me points on my fantasy team.
Yeah. Crazy.
Anything else for SmackDown, Derek?
Um. No, the LA Knight stuff was whatever. I think Naomi had a match that was whatever. So yeah, that's it. Let's go to Monday Night Raw.
All right. So Monday Night Raw, sorry from what I said before, it continues that little bloodline rivalry because I believe the Knights started off with Jey Uso coming out.
Yes.
He pretty much called out his brother Jimmy Uso. Um, yeah, it was almost like, yeah, my brother's back, but at the same time, like I remember all the things you did. I'm
Mhm.
glad they kind of did it that way because they don't want to
Mhm.
like dumb out the crowd and be like, oh, I know like you ruined my life and you ruined my championship opportunity to win the
Mhm.
world title and then like
Mhm.
split the family, but now we're family. You know what I mean? No, like they still kind of have that separation between them. He says he's gonna help him because they cost him the title, but um, it was cool to have I guess, that going for them.
Mm-hmm.
Was that when the Tongans attack?
Yes.
Okay. I don't remember what happened after that.
The Tongan's attack. The Usos basically ward off the attack. And then they're walking backstage, and that's when Sami Zayn confronts like Jay. It says like, "Yo, can we talk like without Jimmy here?" kind of thing. And they kind of have their little backstage talk where like Sammy's basically like asking him like, "Oh, so you're just gonna go back like after everything put you through? You're finally your own man, this and that." And he's just like, "I don't get it. Like, I don't understand like why you go back and like you're finally out of this. You don't need to get involved." And Jay tells him like, "You wouldn't understand because you're not family." Which,
Yes.
yeah,
That was painful to watch because there was.
very painful to watch.
I know they did a lot of promos and segments backstage throughout the night, trying to see if they are
Mm-hmm.
family, they're not family. Pretty much, Jay confirmed, "I'm with Jimmy because he is my family, and you're not my family, so leave me alone." Jay was remorseful later. Jimmy's like, "Yo, let's go talk." Turns out, Sami Zayn at the end of the night was talking to Solo in a vehicle. They're chatting up. He's like, "See, I told you, looks can be deceiving."
Yeah.
So looks like the Canadians are both turning heel, or we'll see. Maybe Sami
Uh,
Zayn ends up joining Solo.
I have, it's gonna be my grain of salt later. I have theories about how that's going to go, but I loved this episode of Raw specifically because I feel like they pivoted because of the spoilers on SmackDown. Like,
Okay.
I don't know if this was the direction that they were going to go, but like everybody who knows and like everybody who posts online about like, oh yeah, they pre-recorded SmackDown this week, it's up there. Like, we know how SmackDown more or less is going to go, and so for me, I was very wary about like how are they gonna really like do this show with what we know is going to already happen on SmackDown, and kind of like doing it in a way where it's like they're trying to kayfabe make it like it wasn't actually a thing.
Mm.
And although they definitely made it like, okay, yeah, I'm going to be on SmackDown, talk to Roman, whatever, and we know how that's going to go more or less, the Sami Zayn part was a huge curveball for me that I wasn't seeing coming.
Mm. I don't think they were going to get
And
involved.
yeah, I wasn't sure if they were going to get involved because it seems like they were going to kind of keep it like within that. But it's like, it's a huge element that obviously needs to be addressed. And if they are going to do War Games 4 on 4, they need a fourth.
Mm.
Right? So I was very surprised at how they kind of approached it. But I love it because I love the idea that Roman and that whole saga, people aren't just like saying, "All right, cool, we mess with Roman now just because he's a babyface." Like everyone who's been involved with Roman is still very like they still very much remember what Roman did to them, how Roman affected their lives, what the bloodline did to them, how the bloodline affected their lives, and so on and so forth. And so like that whole trust game, and like the fact that like Jimmy or Jay is going back when the bloodline, like the original bloodline, did so much, is going to ruffle feathers. And
Mm.
like, although we like it, and from a viewer standpoint, it's like, yeah, this is dope.
Yeah.
It's like, from like a storyline standpoint, it's just like, why would anybody want this, right? So
Yeah. No,
I
it makes
like the
sense.
way that they're really putting it through. It's really cool.
Great storytelling, but very traumatic to the characters in the story. You know what I mean? Like, they
Yeah,
remember,
yeah,
and they're not playing as idiots. It's not like, oh, they turned face, move on. Big Show's face, Big Show's heel. Like back in the day with
yeah.
Vince. Now they're like, no, we know you guys are smart. You know that you guys see it. So the characters in the show is also going to see it too, which I thought was pretty cool. That's how
Hmm.
it ended with pretty much the bloodline. There's a couple tag team matches throughout the night. One of them was the tournament where the War Raiders won the number one contendership to fight Judgment Day. I'll lead that into a little bit later. Um, for the women's side, they kind of set up a match already. So there's a tag team match also on the pay per view. So it is Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill defending their titles against Damage Control, the girls from NXT, which I don't remember their names, and there's another group in there. I don't know if it was Chelsea and Piper Niven. I think it was them, but they're gonna
Yes.
have a tag team Fatal 4-Way. They're also gonna have a regular Fatal 4-Way on Friday Night SmackDown. So those were also announced. Seth Rollins and Bronson Reed had another brawl all over the arena, front of the stage, backstage. Seth Rollins kind of like curb stomped Bronson Reed on a car and slipped backwards. They continued their feud into like a production truck where Seth got absolutely wrecked. I don't know if you remember that, Derek, but it was nuts. It was
Mm-hmm.
nuts. But I guess that continues their little rivalry because I think they're supposed to fight on Crown Jewel as well too. No.
They are, yes.
Again, 7 matches. They're piling it up, which we'll talk about. We need to do a predictions. I forgot
Yeah, we
about
do.
that.
Because
All right, Matthew.
Crown
Matthew has to send his predictions. We'll do ours and then we'll send the rest. But I forgot about that. Yeah, pay per views this
Mm-hmm.
Saturday. It's crazy. Derek is
Mm-hmm.
bailing on us again. Anyways,
So, you know what's funny?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I had a set of friends that were like, "Oh, I have like an event that's happening on November 30th. Like, everybody come." And I was just like, "No, I can't. I'm busy because November 30th is War Games."
War
So,
Games. Yeah, it's
so
like enough.
I'm making sure that I am completely making like there's nothing that happens on November 30th. I'm locked in for War Games. After 6 months, I will finally watch a pay-per-view of the boys. This is like
Go.
probably one of the longest reigning storylines in EMFC history. I can't watch a pay-per-view with my guys
No
this
empanadas.
November. I've been waiting for these empanadas for months. Like, it's actually crazy.
I know. This is like SummerSlam.
Yeah.
But yeah, so moving forward, the other kind of important keys of the night, Rhea Ripley had a promo, but we'll talk about what happens in NXT later because that messes up probably a lot of rivalries if it's real. I think Gunther had like a backstage promo or something like that. I'm not sure. And then R-Truth and The Miz kind of continue their thing with Uncle Howdy, where they're like, "Oh, we're friends, right? We're friends." And R-Truth like clocks him. He's like, "Nah, enjoy the wide six." The Miz runs to I forgot what they're called. It's not Retribution. The one with Karrion Kross. The
The
Final
Final
Testament.
Testament.
Yeah.
Final Testament. Yeah.
And they're like, "Nah, you got to figure out your stuff too." So it looks like the Miz is screwed with Uncle Howdy. And then the last one was Priest versus Dirty Dom. Continued their Judgment Day rivalry. Dirty Dom wins Dirty because of the interference of the Judgment Day. And then Damian Priest goes off at the end. Now, Raw ends there. As we were talking before, their pacing and the matches have been good, but at the same time, they're also missing this 1 hour of Raw. I feel they can't
Absolutely.
fit everything going on with all the storylines. A lot of storylines are rushed. This is one of them. After Monday Night Raw on Twitter, or probably also on YouTube, they posted the Judgment Day in the back, and I believe this is supposed to be a segment afterwards. This wasn't supposed to be the last match of the night. Probably they're going to add more matches in the rest of the night, but because of the 2 hours time constraint, they pushed it there. They couldn't do this backstage segment with Judgment Day, where all of them are backstage, and they're all congratulating Dominic Mysterio for winning a match and pushing himself to the World Heavyweight title scene, right? Here comes Finn Balor, angry at everyone, because Dom said he wanted to go at it alone, and now Dom has like an opportunity near the world title, right? And then people says like almost like he's jealous or whatever, like you should be proud of Dom. And then Finn is like, yeah, but we need to be focused on our tag team titles because now the War Raiders are chasing after us. And everyone's like, yeah, the tag team titles are important, but like, you're not our boss. Like, you can't tell us what to do, kind of thing. And they're like, no, you're right. Like, we'll congratulate Dom. And then like Finn looks at everyone angry, like he's ready to kill them all, and then like walks away. So that should have been key into the storyline. A lot of people may not see it. I'm hoping they replay it somewhere, maybe on Monday Night Raw, because that's very important. Very, very important in their story of the Judgment Day, because if Finn's going to break it up and betray everyone, like, a lot of people who don't watch it on social media, they're going to miss out, right? They're going to think it's just a random breakup, so. That's right.
It's yeah, and there was another segment that was posted on their Twitter too in regards to the Miz getting kidnapped by Uncle Howdy. I don't know if you saw that one.
Oh, I did not see that.
Yeah,
That's
so
crazy.
there was a point where Kofi and Xavier Woods were like arguing in the back because Xavier got distracted by Rey Mysterio again, which kind of like led to them losing the match, and they were kind of going back and forth about like like what are we doing, like like Kofi was like pressing Xavier, was like, so for us to lose because that's what we did. And then like X was just like, all right, look cool, like we're hot, like let's calm down. We'll talk about it in the car. And Kofi was just like, you know what, nah, I'm gonna find my own ride. Like, you do you kind of thing. Which is like, oh shit. But while all this is going on,
Yeah.
Miz was in the background, like near a bus, and the bus door opens, and I think it was Dexter Lumis's budget character, just like grabbed him, snatched him, and threw him, and like grabbed him onto the bus and like closed the door.
Oh, that's
So
hilarious. Yeah, that's
so
a
like
lot
it's
of
really
things you
funny
missed.
because a lot of things that people are more so focused on that than they are about the New Day, like, ongoing, like, saga, which I just find to be hilarious. Like every social
Mm.
media post I've seen is just like, oh my god, the Miz got like kidnapped. It's just like, yeah, but Kofi just said that he wasn't gonna ride with Woods. Like that's huge. But also this is great. Like,
Mm.
and then there was another post that Karrion Cross posted, and honestly, Karrion Cross is one of my favorites because of his social media posts because they're hilarious. But he was in his hotel room and he was like drawing this like ominous picture that kind of looked like a tarot card. And Scarlett comes in and she's just like, "Babe, Miz just got kidnapped. We gotta go help him." And he's just like, "Seriously?" And she's like, "Yeah." And he's like, "He's probably dead." And then it's like, babe, we should probably go help him. It's like, do we have to? And he's kind of like, well, I mean, he's kind of helping us. Like, we should probably go help him. He's just like, babe, like, I think he's dead. Like,
See, like if they put that kind of like stuff on Monday Night Raw, I'd enjoy it a lot more. Like make their characters a little bit more. I don't know,
yeah.
like their personality. Let the personality shine. I guess that's funny. That's hilarious.
Yeah, like we got a little bit more of Karrion Cross's personality because even with like Miz, he was kind of like, yeah, like if you don't fight Bo Dallas, I'm gonna break your legs.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
just
yeah,
like straight up.
yeah,
And it
yeah,
was kind of like, yo, what the hell?
yeah. No, that was more serious. He's like, ready? Break. Yeah, that was great.
uh,
There's one more thing that
but
happened on social media, but I'm trying to remember what it is. Um, yeah, it'll probably come back to me later, but that's probably the most key and important things that are happening. Moving on from Raw, I guess. So now, I guess it leads us to NXT. I guess we can show that too. NXT was Halloween Havoc technically, so it was like a pay-per-view. A lot of things happened. I don't know if you want to take over on this one, Derek, and explaining.
ooh, NXT. How much of NXT did I watch? I watched Halloween Havoc. Oh, Halloween Havoc is great. I watched like half of Halloween Havoc. I missed the first two matches, so I missed the Tony D'Angelo and Obafemi match, but Tony retained. I missed the Julia and Stephen the Vancouver versus Cora Jade and Roxanne Perez match, but apparently that match was a banger, and Julia and Stephanie like retained or beat them.
Wait.
And then
Say it again. Julia.
Julia and what's her name?
Oh, it was a
The
tag
other girl.
team match.
It
Okay,
was a tag
okay,
team match. Yeah, it was a tag
okay,
team match. Yeah,
okay.
yeah, yeah. What I think the match between um what's his face? Ridge Holland and Andre Chase had started. It was an ambulance match.
Mm-hmm.
Match was pretty okay. Ridge Holland won. He basically buries all Chase U. Um, did we have another match in between that, or was it just Trick Williams versus
There
Ethan
was one
Page?
with Nikita Lyons. I forgot who she was fighting, but
So that was on NXT
she was regular.
this past Tuesday.
Okay.
Yeah, there wasn't on thing. Nikita Lyons, there was an ongoing storyline because the week prior, the girl from Tony D'Angelo's family got attacked backstage, and people were like, "Oh, who attacked you? Whatever, whatever." At Halloween Havoc, she was there, and she was just like, "Yeah, like I know who attacked me, and I'm gonna go after her on Tuesday." Fast forward to Tuesday, Nikita Lyons is facing Kalani Jordan for number one contendership. That reminds me, Kalani Jordan lost the NXT North American Championship to Fallon Henry
Okay.
because it was a gauntlet match, so she had to face all of Fatal Influence, and she beat the first two girls, but then she lost against Fallon Henry. And then Delta, aka Zara, appeared afterwards to kind of basically like call her shot. But like on NXT this past Tuesday, Kalani and Nikita Lyons fought to see who would be the number one contender. And the girl basically came out and said like, yeah, it was Nikita who attacked me. So now Nikita's heel turn is in full swing at this point
Mm.
because it was confirmed that she was the one that attacked. There was a lot of really cool moments from this episode of NXT. Bubba Ray basically came out, was talking to Trick. Trick says like, "Yo, we're in the ECW arena next week. I want you to team with me to face off against Holland and Ethan Page because Holland attacked Trick Williams after the show, and
Okay.
Bubba Ray came out to help him because Holland kept on interrupting him during the night.
Okay.
And Bubba was basically like, no, like I don't want to take a spot away from the roster, so like I'm going to decline. Okay, cool. Later on in that night, Rich Holland keeps talking shit about Bubba. Bubba comes out and basically says, yo, stop talking shit about me, dog. They beat him up. Trick Williams comes out and helps him, and he's like, you know what? I am going to take a roster spot. So yeah, I am going to face you guys.
That's pretty cool,
So they're
though.
going to have a tag team match next week. It was already confirmed that Jada Parker and Lola Vice, who have been having this ongoing rivalry, are going to be having a street fight, and Don
Fantastic.
Marie is going to be the special guest referee for that.
We will be there. 100%.
We will be there.
We will be there. That's a great time.
After the Bubba Ray segment where he declined, RVD was on TV with the general manager where he said like, "Yo, Bubba doesn't want to fight, then you know I'll step up and I'll show up next week and do something." And she's like, "All right, cool. Tell me what you want to do, and then we'll just gotta do it." Main event was Axiom and Nathan Frazier facing off against Javon Evans and Cedric Alexander for the tag team titles. Wesley interfered in that match. It cost Javon and Cedric Alexander. After which, backstage, Javon and Wesley are kind of going back and forth. RVD comes in and he's just kind of like, you know what? I think I know what I want to do next week. So basically, indicated that he wants to face Wesley and Javon Evans in a triple threat match.
That's crazy.
Which is going to be super, super crazy.
Yeah.
On top of that, with the Tony D'Angelo stuff, Tony D'Angelo got a phone call by a very familiar Italian person saying like, yo, he's coming for him and that and the North American title next week. And it was Nunzio's voice, so Nunzio's going to be there as well.
Holy crud. Oh, SmackDown NXT is going to be lit next week then.
And then on top of that, with the women, Zara had her debut match against this girl. After that, Fatal Influence comes out, and Cora Jade and Thing come out, and they say like, "Oh, let us welcome you to NXT." They were gonna jump her, and then before she's about to get jumped, Kalani Jordan comes out to help her, and it's like, "All right, cool, it's still 5-on-2." Then Julia and Vancouver come out, and it's just like, "All right, cool, it's 5-on-4." And then the Scott Steiner Sirens come out, and Jordan Grace comes in, and evens the odds at 5-on-5, and now they're having a 10-woman tag team match next week.
It's crazy, man. SmackDown's cooking. They're cooking with fire, bro.
NXT cooking for real, bro. So yeah, next week is gonna be crazy. On top of that, this episode of NXT that's going to be in the ECW arena is gonna be on Wednesday, so it's gonna be going head to head with AEW Dynamite that week. RIP to AEW.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you know, we always talk wrestling, but I feel like we fell off a lot with AEW because AEW fell off a lot. What are your thoughts on that? What are your thoughts on AEW? Is what's actually going on? I don't even know. All I know is like Daniel Bryan was getting paralyzed and has to retire, so he retired.
So right now they're basically doing this storyline where Jon Moxley's basically trying to take over, and there are people from AEW that are like, we can't have this. So they're basically trying to build up a team to face off against the Blackpool Combat Club because they're like basically effing up everybody.
Okay.
Like they took out Brian. They took out like you remember Best Friends? It was like Trent Beretta and Chuck Taylor.
Sure.
Okay, well Chuck Taylor had to like retire from in-ring competition.
Okay.
And so he was on the show last week because he was kind of like working as a producer, but Cesaro like basically like squashed his head with like a steel chair,
Jesus.
and in front of Orange Cassidy. And so this was like Orange Cassidy's like Gohan Super Saiyan 2 moment because like he got pissed.
Oh yeah.
So like everyone's just like, oh shit, Orange Cassidy's about to snap because like he always just doesn't like care about anything, but now it's just like you just took out my best friend, like. So now it's like they're kind of like trying to build up these stars to kind of like go up against them. Adam Cole is back, and Adam Cole is kind of teasing that he's going to join up to like kind of face off against them as well. So they're kind of just doing like this whole like AEW good guys versus Blackpool Combat Club and whoever is going to join their side and doing this whole civil AEW right now. So that's kind of like the main thing that's going on.
Okay.
I think originally a lot of people kind of thought that this whole thing with Jon Moxley was going to lead to Shane McMahon coming in and saying that he's the guy that's kind of pulling the strings.
Yeah.
But that whole rumor has kind of cooled off now, so we don't really know what's going on with that. But yeah, that's kind of like what the story is. On the other side, we have Swerve Strickland, who is actively being recruited by MVP to join their side. Swerve's just like, nah. Shelton Benjamin is sick again. and it looks like they actually tried to recruit Ricochet. And a fun fact was that when the original Hurt Business that they were trying to do with WWE, they actually wanted Ricochet in the group,
Mm.
but WWE said no. They was like, you either get Ricochet or Cedric Alexander, and so they chose Cedric Alexander. So now they're in AEW. It's like, oh well, yeah, we're going out to Ricochet now, kind of thing, right? So,
Yeah. Even though he's being roasted like crazy
well,
for the last couple of weeks, but
he's being super roasted, so this is exactly what he needs. He needs a mouthpiece. He needs MVP.
you know, really.
So we'll see. And then, obviously the impending debut of Bobby Lashley is around the corner at some point. So whenever that happens, that happens. So AEW is trying and doing their thing, but they're going to die next week against NXT.
Most likely. Especially with all AEW originals and AEW Arena. I'm very excited for that.
Yeah, the ECW NXT show is going to be pretty crazy.
Oh yeah, we're supposed to do predictions. I was gonna close this, but I guess we might as well do predictions now before the salt and the sheets. Alrighty. Predictions, ladies and gentlemen, for the pay-per-view. Crown Jewel is on Saturday. It's going to be at 1 p.m. Eastern because, again, it's on the other side of the world. So, Derek. I'm trying to go through all, like, the lineup of the matches, but it looks like it's just set up like this. Can I just click into it? Or I guess maybe this is the preview. Yeah, I do. Okay, sick. All right, like I was saying earlier, and we would like to thank Sebike here on EMFC in the chat for bringing up a lot of these points because I didn't take in how many matches was until we were rewatching everything. 7 matches on the pay-per-view. We're just going to discuss quickly like everything, and then after that, we'll do like I choose this person, okay? Can you see the screen, right? Do you see the stream, I assume?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
First match. The WWE Women's Tag Team Championships are on the line. Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair takes on Kairi Sane and Io, Lash Legend and Jakara Jackson, Chelsea Green and Piper Niven in a fatal 4-way tag team match. Who do you think is going to win? Why?
I think Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill are going to retain because...
Ooh, that's a good take. I love that for points. I love that.
I don't know. I just feel like their title reign isn't up yet.
Okay.
That's all. Like, I don't really take Piper Niven and Chelsea Green seriously in that aspect. Lash Legend and Jakara Jackson have just kind of shown up on the main roster, so I don't really see them like taking it. And I don't know if this is like a permanent move or this is just kind of like a thing that they're doing just for this match.
I think it's still NXT because The Rock's daughter, she was on SmackDown, so they're like, we're discussing with everyone because she's a NXT wrestler, and they're allowed to defend in NXT, so it makes sense.
Yeah, so it makes sense. And then Damage Control definitely could win it at some point, but I don't really see it being in this fashion. I feel like it'd be more in like a one-on-one setting because they could definitely deliver on that type of match, right? So yeah, I could see Bianca Belair and Jade definitely retaining here.
Honestly, I actually see them losing, which I was kind of worried because I was like, oh, should I drop these guys? Should I not? But I actually see them losing. I feel like this is another way where they can lose the tag titles without losing their credibility, like without losing the match fair and square. They'll all stay strong. They'll try to come back and fight, like in a rematch or whatever, and then that's when probably Jade and Bianca start butting heads. They're like, you know what? Let's just focus on us for a little bit, like solo dolo, which will probably lead to the Royal Rumble because we're close to there, and then it's gonna implode and they're gonna fight each other at WrestleMania, right? So I think they're gonna lose. Fortunately for my points, but if they win, I hope so.
Who do you think is going to win then?
Honestly, Damage Control will probably end up winning. They've been hyped up for a long time. They can carry a show. They can defend on all 3 rosters. So I think Damage Control have a claim.
Okay.
Next, we have another surprising little match at the last minute. United States Championship on the line. LA Knight, the champion, versus Andrade and Carmelo Hayes. Before I mention anything, SmackDown, LA Knight had a custom United States Championship belt.
Yes.
What do you think on that first?
It's kind of cool.
You liked it?
I kind of liked it, yeah.
Because I didn't see SmackDown Live. I know Matt told us in the chat, and I was so confused. And then when I saw it to count the points for fantasy, all it was that they pretty much changed the strap to LA logos.
Yeah.
Kind of like, is it Louis Vuitton?
Yeah.
It's
So like,
interesting.
it's subtle. It's subtle, but I didn't mind it. I thought it was pretty cool.
I thought they should have left it alone. They already changed up one title a little bit. I don't think you can give everyone custom titles, but hey, it is what it is. Anyways, who do you think
Yeah.
is winning this match?
I guess LA Knight. I don't know. I feel like this triple threat match is kind of like a throwaway to be honest. I think it'll be really cool. I think it'll be fast paced, but I don't know. I don't really see Andrade or Carmelo winning this one, so I'm gonna say LA Knight's gonna retain.
There's gonna be a little dark horse in the match. It's gonna be a lot of random stuff going on, a lot of like high impact moves, athleticism. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. But again, as you
Hmm.
say, throwaway match. I believe LA Knight just kills him. Randy Orton and Kevin Owens, another last minute match. This is a rivalry that they have a long friendship, but a rivalry that brewed only like the last 2 weeks.
Hmm.
You kind of already talked about it earlier, but if you want to talk about it more,
Kevin Owens is going to kill Randy Orton. He's going to kill him, absolutely obliterate him. He's going to eviscerate him on live TV. We're going to see a live murder.
it's not like even a no holds barred. I think it might end up in DQ. Honestly,
Yeah, I think it'll be DQ. Like I think Randy wins by DQ, but Kevin Owens is going to murder him.
I think maybe it's just like a double count out or something like that. But I believe this is what's going to push them a little forward. Maybe they'll fight in Survivor Series. I believe that Kevin Owens needs to win this rivalry to, one, push himself as more of a threat. As we said before, Cody Rhodes needs more threats. I think Kevin Owens will be a Royal Rumble slash Elimination Chamber opponent, where he's gonna be like, "You were my friend, but you betrayed me," blah blah blah, just to set up the
Oh,
Randy Orton
okay.
betrayal. Because then Randy Orton is gonna lose to Kevin Owens, and then he's gonna realize, "Oh damn, you know what? Cody really isn't a friend. I should take that title from him." So while Kevin Owens is doing all these filler matches, I think Randy Orton's gonna be the end game of WrestleMania. Randy versus Cody Rhodes.
So this is what I think is going to happen.
Mm.
I think Randy Orton is going to die. And I honestly think that could see Kevin Owens versus Cody Rhodes at Survivor Series as opposed to keeping it later.
Okay.
I think he's going to take out Randy Orton. I think Randy Orton will be taken off of the television until probably until the Royal Rumble maybe. And then if Randy and Cody do get set up for WrestleMania, which is what I'm kind of hoping for, then they can kind of use that build for Randy to kind of like tease the turn and maybe actually turn on him or whatever the case may be. But I definitely think that Kevin Owens, because like again, the main thing with Kevin Owens here is again he still hasn't signed with WWE yet, so like his contract would be up by by the end of the year.
Okay.
So we might not even get Kevin Owens by Royal Rumble if he doesn't resign.
Okay.
So
Makes sense.
I feel like the Survivor Series is the last major pay-per-view for WWE, so I think that we're going to get Kevin Owens versus Cody for that, and hopefully he does sign another contract with WWE, and then we can kind of keep that going forward. But yeah, either way, Randy Orton's going to die.
Okay.
Death.
Solid comments, solid suggestions. Next one, another last minute one. Seth frickin' Rollins versus Big Bronson Reed. I don't know. Kind of torn in this one because like Seth is an established wrestler, but they're also establishing him as a more violent heel instead of this jokery character to bring him back to the main stage. At the same time, Bronson Reed has been someone who I thought was annoying, but now he's on my good graces. He's been funny. He's been good. Braun Strowman elevated him a lot in that little rivalry that they had. I don't know if they want to like stomp literally his momentum, but then I don't see Seth losing either. So you tell me, Derek. What do you think's gonna happen?
I think Seth is gonna win.
Okay. You think
Yeah,
just stomp him out, eh?
I think it's just gonna stomp the crap out of him, and I
Okay.
think it's just gonna kind of like kind of continue this more newer version of Seth Rollins and kind of push that going forward until say CM Punk comes back, and then we can kind of get the CM Punk Seth Rollins confrontation
Okay.
that we have been waiting for leading into WrestleMania.
And I agree with you because I have Seth Rollins on my team and I want points.
Crazy.
Seth,
Well,
let's
I
go.
have Bronson Reed on my team, so I kind of hope he wins, but I don't know if I'm going to play him. But either way,
All right. Women's Championship. So I guess it's called the Crown Jewel Champion. That's what they're gonna say. So if anyone's not used to it, there's something called before bragging rights. There's also a video game called SmackDown vs. Raw. Go play that. It's a freaking fun time. So there used to be a period in time in wrestling where they like to throw SmackDown and Raw to face off against each other. They kind of moved it to Survivor Series, but now they moved away for it for War Games. They kind of reintroduce it now with Crown Jewel. So the women's champion of SmackDown's gonna face the women's champion of Raw. So World Women's Champion, WWE Women's Champion, which is Liv Morgan and Nia Jax, and they're fighting for this new shiny Crown Jewel champion, which I think they only announced just because they need that deal with Saudi people. So what is it? It says right there, Saudi something, and the Riyadh season. They need them. They need them to be happy for more money. So they built this money championship, and yeah, I think it's still kind of cool. Because we always thought Crown Jewel was more of a throwaway show and little filler kind of thing. But I guess it's cool that they put this together. Who do you think is winning?
Yeah. Nia Jax.
Yeah?
Yeah.
We didn't discuss on NXT what happened with Rhea Ripley.
We didn't. Rhea Ripley's dead.
Not literally for everyone watching, figuratively more so. They broke her face, and I don't know if it's part of the storyline where like I think they said like a eye fracture, like the skull around there. There's a lot of blood. Again, NXT is TV 14 opposed to TV PG. Again, some rivalries will add blood, so I don't know if that was real and they smashed her face like that or whatever. But Liv Morgan just likes injuring people, which is horrific. Originally, I thought Rhea Ripley will cost it. Maybe she will. Who knows? But I don't see Liv Morgan winning.
I think it's just gonna be Nia Jax. I'm kind of interested with this whole angle that they're doing. I feel like it could be maybe Rhea does actually have an injury that she needs to be written off of TV for. Just because since her match, she hasn't been there. It's just been like backstage vignettes and promos and stuff like that. So yeah, it's very possible that they just kind of wrote off her TV so that she can kind of tend to that. So we'll see. But yeah, I was not expecting that because it's actually funny. I was watching NXT and I saw a quick seg of that happening, but I didn't see Rhea because I went downstairs because it's like, oh, I guess she got beat up. And then I went on social media today and I saw her face and I was just like, oh, good God.
Yeah.
I should have stayed in my room.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't think she's coming back for a while, and they write her off for a little bit. They're really gonna extend this to WrestleMania.
They might, yeah.
All right. So that was the women's side. Now the men's side, the WWE champion, which I still don't know why I haven't disputed, because they're literally disputing for another title. Whatever. Versus the World Heavyweight Champion. So Cody versus Gunther. What do you think happens?
I think that Goldberg shows up and costs Gunther the title.
Yep.
Or gets the cost. Yeah, cost him the match. Yeah,
Yeah. It's
like
this has Goldberg written over it.
It's written over it. This event should be called WWE Goldberg.
So if anyone doesn't know, this pay-per-view is pretty much called Goldberg. They always send old men to appease the Saudi Arabians for Crown Jewel. It is most likely, again, going to be freaking Goldberg costing Gunther. And it makes sense because they set it up like the last pay-per-view. They'll probably continue the rivalry, continue Gunther's little world title reign with filler opponents. And Cody Rhodes wins another thing. Yay! His momentum keeps going forward. Oh my God, my superhero.
Adrenaline in his soul. Or maybe Kevin Owens cost Cody Rhodes the match. Who knows? There's so many variables here.
Possibilities. I feel like Cody's been losing a lot though as of late, so I think they may have to give him a win.
Yeah, they might have to give him a win here.
Another last minute match, and it should be a Survivor Series type match, but I think it's going to lead into Survivor Series. Roman Reigns and the Usos versus the Bloodline 6-man tag team match. Very strange sentence to say because usually the Bloodline, the OGs, are here. But Jey Uso, like he said on Monday Night Raw, I am now an independent wrestler. I'm Jey Uso. They know the difference between Jey and Jimmy now. You're Jimmy Uso. That's Roman Reigns. We're no lackeys. We're individual people, and that's how we're going to treat it in this match. And that's how they're treating it here. So, what do you think is going to happen?
I even forgot this match was a thing. Oh my god. Uh, I think that Solo, the Bloodline's gonna win.
Yeah.
Because I think it'll lead into like Survivor Series. I just don't know what is going to happen that will lead to it.
They have an
But
extra
I feel like
person.
they do. They do. So like that could lead into it. Someone might get involved. I don't know, but I think the original Bloodline is going to win.
They both have the
Oh, not the
Ulafala.
original Bloodline. Like yeah,
Yeah?
they do have the. Yeah, I saw that. Hula Fala for real.
Hmm. Yeah, I don't know.
But yeah, I think Solo's Bloodline's gonna win.
I know.
Like they
And
lost against Roman and Cody in the last one, so like
yeah, they're gonna
if they
win.
lose again, I'm like,
There's no
what do
point in
I
Survivor
like?
Series. Yeah. No, they're gonna
What
they're
do you
gonna
even
win.
have?
I think maybe this is the time where Paul Heyman comes out and Paul Heyman's gonna try to help Roman and he turns on him. And then they have their own wise
Possible,
man. I was also thinking Rock,
possible.
but I don't think he's gonna fly to Saudi.
Yeah, I don't think
Um,
he's gonna fly to Saudi. That'd be really cool if he did.
mhm.
I was thinking that too, but it's just kind of like, I don't think he's gonna do that. But
And
I
that's
was
it.
also thinking Sammy too.
Oh, you're right. Sami Zayn will probably
But
interfere. So that'd be Sammy would be the fourth member. Wait, they already have four people. Is it five people in the cage?
well, no, it's 4-on-4. So like my thing is that I think Sammy is going to side with Roman, but turn on them at Survivor Series.
Hmm. Interesting.
Yeah, that's what I think is going to
Survivor
happen.
Series, I thought The Rock would come out though. You need to solidify that rivalry quick.
Yeah,
It's a major four pay per
yeah.
view, so I feel like they need to do that as well.
I would like that, but something in my soul tells me The Rock isn't going to be showing up until like the Raw Netflix.
I think it's called adrenaline.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll start the recording. We're gonna quickly go through every match. If Matt is listening to us, you're gonna have to do the same thing. If not, we'll message him anyways.
Nah, he cut.
Start recording. Here we go. All right. So the first one is the women's tag team match. I believe Damage Control takes this one.
I believe Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill will retain the women's tag team championships.
The Matt's like, I'm a bell end. Next, United States Championship. I think LA Knight retains.
I believe LA Knight retains. And Matt says, I'm a Bella End. All right, next.
And next, all right. So Randy versus Kevin Owens. I actually think no one's gonna win this one. I think it's just gonna be a DQ.
I think that it'll be DQ as well, and Kevin Owens will apron power 3 times. At least 3 times.
Okay. Um, Seth Rollins versus Big Ronson Reed. Another close one, but Seth takes it.
I believe Seth takes it as well.
Matt says, I'm a bellend. Next, Nia Jax versus Liv Morgan. Another one that can go either way. I'm going to choose Nia Jax.
I choose Nia Jax to squash Liv Morgan.
Ooh, okay. Okay, yeah, I remember now what's going to happen with this one. Cody Rhodes is going to win this new championship because of the help of Goldberg.
Yeah, I think Cody Rhodes wins because Goldberg gets involved.
Okay. And the last one. This match. I think the new Bloodline take this one.
I believe Solo and the Bloodline will defeat the OG Bloodline and push the Survivor Series War Games narrative further.
And then Matt says, I'm a bellend. And that's it for the recording. I'll have to edit that too. Holy smokes. Probably edit that maybe tomorrow. We'll see. A lot of things to edit. But that's it for our little review. I mean, it is a lot because it's a pay-per-view week. It's already an hour long. Let's go into the sheets and whatnot. So, oh, I thought this was visible the whole time. Oh, it's because Matt was here for like a little bit, right? Okay. Which one do you want to start with, sheets or salt?
Guess we'll do Beats.
Okay.
Let's get lost in the sheets. Yeah.
Welcome to Matt's Dirty Sheets minus Matt, where we nut up and shut up. What? Derek, what do you have on the sheets?
Let me double check real quick. So yeah, we got Rhea Ripley, who's basically been written off of TV for the next little while because of a fractured right orbital socket.
Mm-hmm. I got another one from the top of my head. Lacey Evans, for one day only, has her OnlyFans open. Do that what you will with that information, ladies and gentlemen. Next.
Liv Morgan says she recently signed a 5-year deal with WWE.
Okay.
So we'll be getting a lot more Liv. What else do we got? Hulk Hogan keeps ripping his shirt at Donald Trump rallies.
Yep.
Um,
He hardly could rip it the last time. It's funny.
yeah, yeah. Let's see, what else do we have here? There's rumors that Becky Lynch might be coming back to WWE soon.
Oh, I forgot about her.
Mm-hmm.
On a 2-hour Raw, yeah, they need to extend that. I saw another thing in the sheets where Monday Night Raw might not actually be 3 hours. It's just going to be a little bit over 2 hours, like 2 hours and a half,
Yeah.
depending on what Netflix decides.
Yeah, like I think from what I read, like originally the idea was that like there were no time constraints.
Yeah.
So it's like they're gonna write this show, and if it goes over 2 hours, it goes over 2 hours. If it hits 3 hours, it hits 3 hours. But there's no like, oh, we need to hit like these time limits. So like if we have a match and it goes over, oh well, like it goes over kind of thing, right? So
Yeah.
it'll open up a little bit more for I guess for people.
Kind of like pay-per-views.
Oh, here was one for the sheets. Well, apparently Vince McMahon is preparing to launch an entertainment company in the future.
Yes. He's
So
quickly putting stuff together.
Yeah, apparently his deal with him leaving WWE was that he had a non-compete that would be expired by the end of the year. And so apparently his entertainment company would be working on like TV shows, movies, and stuff. It wouldn't be anything wrestling related, but there will be people that he has worked with within WWE that would be working with him. I only could wonder what the name of that entertainment company will be.
Jesus.
I had a few names in mind, but I forgot them. One of them I had was Trump, Rump, and Bump.
Jesus.
There were other ones too that were also very clever, but I can't remember them right now. But yes, let's see. I think that's all I really have for the sheets.
Okay. So we'll go into grain of salt because I know you had some things to say.
Won't keep saying it. I take it with a grain of salt.
All right, now we're in Derek's grain of salt. Let us know.
Well, I have slightly touched on this before, but the Bloodline storyline has taken on a whole new different dimension with Sami Zayn's involvement with Solo Sikoa this past Monday night on Raw. And the way that I see that this kind of goes is I believe that Sami Zayn will side with the OG Bloodline for the sake of Survivor Series, but I don't think he's going to stick with them. I think he's going to turn on them and maybe not even join Solo, but just like turn on them and just screw them out of it and just kind of do his own thing afterwards. But I guess we will see. But I just think that the fact that they're kind of like involving Sami Zayn in there now, and now Solo is posting him online and saying like, "Yo, that's my dog" and stuff like that is really, really thrusting him in there. I think his involvement, it throws a lot of things around all over the place, because if he does side with the OG Bloodline and he's actually serious with them, Kevin Owens is killing him.
Yeah.
If he doesn't and he screws over Roman, then there would be the chance that him and Kevin Owens like side together for, for that brief amount of time as well too.
Reunite the tag team. But heels, imagine. That'd be pretty cool.
But like I see also like that is also very much a possibility.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it'll be interesting to see kind of like how they navigate that on Raw next week.
Imagine them versus the Motor City Machine Guns if they actually bring them up. I think pretty cool.
Oh, that'd be really cool. That'd be really cool for sure. But yeah, I don't think if I have any other grains of salt right now. New Day stuff is still kind of ongoing, so I'm kind of just like sticking with what it is for what it is right now. Um,
I think we got a lot of the information now because there's a pay-per-view week, so like we had to discuss
yeah,
a lot of things leading to the
yeah,
pay-per-view. So I guess
yeah,
we did get a lot of our grains and our information out of there.
yeah.
So I
We kind of already got it out there.
think I gave out my
So,
information, my grains. So I guess fantasies left.
oh yeah, I forgot about that. All
Alrighty.
right, let's run through it.
I hate that this always does that. Like, just be small. Be a small screen. Don't be a big one. Be a small one. There we go. Like it was just that size before. Crazy. Anyways, it's our fantasy time. Matt is not here unless he's here in chat, but we're going to be counting our points for fantasy this week. Just remove that here. If you guys don't know the fantasy rules, we'll pop them up real quick. So, me, Derek, and Matt drafted 6 wrestlers, 2 main event spots, 1 mid-card spot, 1 women's spot, 1 woman/mid-card spot, tag team spot, restrictions of 2 champions, 2 tag teams, and moving forward, these are our points. The top one is our point system for the week. Pay-per-view point system, again, is completely different based off of pay-per-views, which will happen this Saturday. And we added the new rules of tally, so we will tally up all our scores. First place gets 3 points, second 1 point, third place 0 points, third place gets wild card, except for pay-per-view weeks, which is this week. So the bum of this week will get nothing, but usually we spin a wheel. These are the wild cards, but that doesn't matter because we're not using them this time. I used one last week because I was the bum, as we see here. Matt has been dominating most of the weeks. Let me just zoom it in to 150, as he would always like to say. Matt's been dominating most of the weeks. I am the reigning defending 2 times champion, of course, but fallen a little behind him. And Derek, who stumbled a little bit at the beginning, is now catching up real quick. He was the winner of last week. Matt has 13 points. I have 7. Derek has 5. Pretty much it's a competition between me and Derek right now because Matt has been running away with it with the bloodline. October 23rd to October 30th. Derek's Raw Booty. Derek, what is your team saying this week?
Absolutely nothing.
Oh, yeah?
2 out of my 6 people that I have set were in matches. Everybody else either I had a promo or did absolutely nothing. Gunther had an appearance in a promo on SmackDown, promo on Raw. Kevin Owens was nowhere to be found. Braun Breaker was nowhere to be found. Tiffany Stratton had a promo on SmackDown. Carmelo Hayes wrestled, and it went to no decision. And the New Day wrestled, and Kofi Kingston ate the pin.
Okay.
So, when you look at all that, I had a measly 47 points for the week.
Ooh.
Yep.
You did fantastic last week, but this week you lost it.
This-
I mean, Sami Zayn didn't do much. Braun is big Braun Strowman?
No, Big Braun is Big Bronson Reed.
Oh, you had him on the bench.
I had him
Braun
on the
Breaker
bench.
didn't
so-
show up. Kevin Owens didn't show up. Yeah, he had a poor outing this week, I guess.
Yeah, Sheamus had a match, so if I had Sheamus, I would have got a little bit more.
The Creed brothers
But-
actually fought too.
They
They won their match against it was a
No,
random
it was
tag
Ivy
team.
Nile. I swear it was Ivy Nile that had her match. The Creed brothers fight
Oh,
too.
yes, you're right. They just only
Yeah.
appeared. Yeah.
Yeah, they disappeared. Yeah.
Hmm.
And like Chad Gable wasn't even there. It was just the Creed Bros and Ivy Nile that were there. So like,
Sheamus, I guess, is the
Candice
big
LeRae
one.
had a match and she lost. So yeah, Sheamus would have been the only real major difference maker there.
Okay, 47 points, and you have a waiver.
Yeah, that
Candice-
was from last week. That was
Candice
for
for
last week, that was-
Live. No, it's this week because it's October 23rd to October 30th. Because I have
Yeah.
Liv Morgan right now because I got the extra champion for my
Yeah,
wild card.
because I dropped her last week because I had Candice. I had Liv Morgan last week,
Oh,
but I had
okay.
to drop her because of Rob Breaker. So yeah, that was last
Okay,
week's favorite. Candice
okay.
LeRae is already there.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
so
we'll
I don't
remove that.
really have. Yeah, we can remove that. I don't really have
Okay.
anybody. I'm just sad. Let's continue.
All right, on to the next one. Eric's Rumbling Ranas, ladies and gentlemen. I went off this week I think I fell off the other couple weeks, but this week I came back with a vengeance. I did get a good wild card last week. The wild card was to add a third champion momentarily, so just only for this week I got to have another third champion. So I selected Liv Morgan. She did decent. She showed up and got me 14 points. Damian Priest, though he lost his match, he did appear a lot and do a lot of finishers for 17 points. Cody Rhodes did not do much for 8 points. Jimmy Uso, really one of those MVP pickups, kind of like I told you before with the Bloodline story. He showed up on Raw and SmackDown for 26 points. Rhea Ripley only did a promo backstage for 5 points. Now she has a broken face, so I don't think she's going to be on there for a while. And then the major thing was the Motor City Machine Guns. I just picked them up because I needed another tag team. I thought that Bianca and Jade, though they're my tag team champions, they're not really doing that much. The right week to choose them because Motor City Machine Guns had 2 matches back to back, had pretty much ×3 the entire night. They did promos, they did appearances, they did finishers for a total of 138 points, which is insane. I usually count them separately, so maybe that makes it more like inflated from what it looks like, but it is 138 points altogether for a total of 208 points, which is almost like my pay-per-view numbers. But I have 4 champions now on my team. One of them was a wild card, so Liv Morgan was going to leave regardless. That's what Dirty Dom was for. Punk is my ordinary wrestler that I have in that spot. Motor City Machine Guns will be dropped for the Tongans because Tama higher and Tama lower. The Tongans are no longer champions and are free to go. So I will be picking up them instead of Motor City Machine Gun, which are free.
All right.
All right. Matt's Meaty Men. You want to do this?
Sure. I'm Matthew,
I'm a
and I'm a Bellend, and I spent the whole week talking shit that I was gonna win this week, even though I watched SmackDown and knew that the Motor City Machine Guns got more points than me, but apparently I didn't. Anyway, let's get into it. My guy Finn Balor only had an appearance and a promo, so not too much going for him. Roman Reigns, 2 appearances, not too much going up. Did he have a promo?
He had Superman punches. He Superman
He also-
punched.
Yeah, he also had a
Wes-
promo.
He didn't. He just showed up after everyone was jumping Jimmy or whatever. He appeared many times actually. I don't know if he filled it. He has points
Hold
count
on.
here.
I'm trying to think. Wait, how did SmackDown ended with? Oh yeah, he disappeared. Yeah.
He did come
Oh,
out
yeah.
again though. But like
He
again,
he came out at the end.
his total wouldn't even matter anyways because it's 108. So it's like
Yeah. So
we
let's
already
just
went
leave it.
far.
Jey Uso had a bunch of promos. So we love Jey Uso. Had 4 promos. He had a couple super appearances.
Spears,
So whatever. I think he had 1 spear. Whatever. Anyways. Oh my god, that's Jay. Oh my god. Raquel Rodriguez had multiple points. She got me 12 points for the week. Andrade had a promo and also, or no, I think he had a promo and like 2 signatures. There's a 2 sig. 2 commercials. So I got points for that. And Solo Sikoa Jacob Fatu. Oh, they got me so much points. Lovely jubbly. So in all the total, it's 108 points. Thank you.
Pretty accurate. So the winner with double, I guess, amount points when he was talking that ish. Is it me? There it is. Eric's Rumbling Ranas, winner of whatever week we're on right now. I think it's week 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Week 7. So I will be getting +3 points. Matt gets +1 for the 2nd week in a row. At least we're nerfing him a little bit, holding him back. And Derek back to the bum column, but this time no wild card because we're on a pay-per-view week. Pay-per-view weeks are highly competitive, so we'll see how that goes. Matt has 14 points. I now have 10 points, so I'm just itching a little closer. Which brings us to our next one. Let's see. Let me bring this down a little bit. I need to copy this one too for the week after. Copy and then paste. So this would be November 6th, which is insane, man. The second Halloween's done. It's Christmas, bro. We're just celebrating Christmas. That's it. November, what would that be? 13th?
Yeah.
Yeah. Quick maths. Okay, Derek, what are you doing this week?
Oh, what am I doing this week?
Pay-per-view week. Big week. A lot of your wrestlers are fighting.
Gunther is fighting. Kevin Owens is fighting. Braun Breaker, still don't know what he's doing. But Big Braun is going to be there, so we're going to put Big Braun in the mid-card spot.
Okay.
Even though he's probably going to lose. But it's okay. Bring Braun in there.
Whoa. What did you say?
I said Bring Braun's probably going to lose.
What? I'm so confused right now. What is going
Like
on?
Bronson Reed.
No, but the color coordination. We said we're going to stick to color coordination. I'm trying to remember what we did. I think Big Braun's just the main eventer, no?
Is he a main eventer?
Yeah.
I swear.
Yeah. Right?
Was he in a world title match?
I don't know. I don't know how you set it up. So
oh, okay.
Gunther is red, main Raw main eventer.
Oh, okay.
Kevin Owens your SmackDown main eventer. Mid card champion was Braun Breaker, which I think we need to update this one because Liv Morgan's not on your team anymore. This might have because this is probably a different outline. We probably did it before we set up the team. Sami Zayn is your main eventer from Raw. Yeah, this is definitely correct. Because it makes sense. You can switch out Braun Breaker for Braun Strowman.
Well, it's
Bronson Reed.
Yeah.
You have to have a SmackDown main eventer. He's missing somewhere. So
okay.
this one can't be anything. Sheamus, Chad Gable, one of these have to go for Bronson Reed. The women's spot you had
Candice LeRae
and Tiffy Time.
And Tiffy Time.
So Tiffy Time.
I don't even know if I'm gonna put it in for that one. I guess I'll just put Tiffy there. We'll put Candice LeRae down here.
LeRae. Sheamus or Chad Gable has to go for Bronson Reed.
Chad Gable is gone. I guess we'll put Break Braun here. And then I guess I'll put Braun Breaker here. Or hold on. Look, Big Braun's over here. So
We're changing it right now?
well, I put Bronson Reed in anyway, so
Do you want me to change it? I don't see you updating it here. Like you're here, but
I thought I was updating it.
okay, I'm gonna refresh then. Maybe it's just glitched. Or where am I doing this from? Maybe we're doing it from different areas?
Maybe. I'm on the November 6th to November.
No, it's October 30th to November 6th.
Yeah.
So today till next week, yeah.
So update that.
Yeah, the other one I'll delete now actually because we have to put in everything. So let me erase the next week's one.
Okay.
Or the week after technically, so we don't confuse ourselves.
Okay.
Okay, so no Braun Breaker. He's gonna be on your bench for Bronson Reed.
Yeah.
So your Braun Breaker was your no, that wouldn't make sense either. Braun Breaker is mid-card champion. This is Bronson Reed. He has what? Tsunami.
Yeah, I'm gonna do the Tsunami and the Death Valley Driver because he's been using that.
Yeah, he's been using that a lot.
Yeah.
So this is an inverted FU. Gunther is your Raw main eventer.
Yeah.
Kevin Owens your SmackDown main eventer. Sami Zayn is the other Raw main eventer. You're missing a SmackDown main eventer.
So I need a SmackDown main eventer.
Because Tiffy Time's here for women's. Carmelo is mid card. New Day's your tag team. Creed, Braun Breaker.
You know what? Actually, no, I can't. Wait, can I do that? Wait,
Candice LeRae.
Do I have? I only have one. Oh no, I have two champions. Okay, shit.
He is SmackDown main eventer, but I'm trying to think
who's there as a main eventer for SmackDown at this point. Because someone already has Randy, I'm assuming.
It's me. They could just be
Uh,
bench if anything, because Kevin Owens is there already.
like I would have used LA Knight, but he's a champion. I can't use him.
But he's also mid card champion.
Yeah. These guys have no main eventers.
On SmackDown, AJ Styles, I guess.
Well, yeah, but he's dead.
I know. It's like a placeholder until we find someone who's in the main event on SmackDown.
The Usos already taken.
Solo's taken.
Uh,
No one's actually have a claim for that, eh?
No,
There's not that many
really.
people on SmackDown, now that I think of it.
There isn't. There isn't.
Trying to think. Because Andrade and all of them are already fighting
Mm-hmm.
thing. Carmelo's fighting in the mid card.
Yeah. So just. Yeah, I got nobody. I don't know if Bailey. Like, I don't fucking know.
That's possible, actually. She is a SmackDown main eventer.
Yeah, I guess I'll throw Bailey in there until further notice.
Okay. All right, Bailey it is. I think you did. I think that's you already had Bailey. It's just we are very behind on it, I guess. But there you go.
Yeah.
Oh, TV time or Bailey on women's?